Duke, who we just talked about, to the bottom of the screen. 3rd and goal, and this one is for the basketball player Duke, who caught it for the touchdown. So Wesley Duke finally able to crack in. What a story he is. Tries to go for the dunk and is denied, but he has the touchdown.
This is beautiful. Patience by him, standing at the line of scrimmage, allowing the ball to be thrown, and then running to the spot where it's thrown to. Beautiful number he's wearing. He's wearing a Hall of Fame number, so he did it proud on that play.
Who wore that number?
Only the greatest tight end in football.
Be your brother Shannon. Jason Elam on for the extra point as Wesley Duke out of Mercer, who has been inactive most of the season, catches his first NFL pass. And in the game that the Broncos need to win to get into the playoffs, it's his first National Football League touchdown. Denied on the dunk, but into the end zone. 14-7 Broncos.
Bladder control is an issue, and I've mastered that.
You need to be drinking at the right time during the 2-hour session so that on the 15-minute break is when you use the restroom.
There's a huge mass rush to the bathroom.
There's so many people, you're screwed.
I can't even believe they're waiting in a line like that. There aren't very many women who play poker, so I can just casually get up and go to the restroom with no lines.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
This year, it's a huge advantage to be a woman because you get right into the bathroom. You don't have to wait.
There's actually things you can take that strengthen everything down there.
If you wear a catheter or Depends, you're good to go.
I know right when the perfect time to leave is, and I bolt.
There's this secret bathroom that I'm not telling anybody about. That's where I go. For everyone else, wait in line. Good luck.
At least you guys didn't follow me to the bathroom.
I'm going to guess nobody at home had Wesley Duke in their fantasy league.
No.
For the touchdown there. 14-7, the Broncos score here at the top of the 3rd quarter. So they put back-to-back drives around halftime together. And Duke, one of the first plays he was even on the field for all year, the last person you'd expect to come up big, does there. Sauerbrun's kick returned by McGee. Terrence. Denied at the 25-yard line. Todd DeVos, special teams, led the charge for the Broncos.
This ESPN NFL special brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40. Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 40. Best Buy, thousands of possibilities. Get yours. And the all-new Mazda Speed 6 and Mazda 6, the end of the boring sedan.
Buffalo scored on its opening drive. They've been mostly stuck in neutral since then. Kelly Holcomb for the injured J.P. Lossman. First down throw is caught by Willis McGahee. Turned it upfield. Nice job by McGahee. Gets 14 to about the 39-yard line. I want to go back to a second. We got a penalty marker down as Holcomb was hit hard, and he was roughed.
Defense at 15 yards to the end of the run. First down.
By Trevor Price. Holcomb wincing. The play will take it with the flag across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Trevor should know better than this. I mean, he does a great job fighting through. This could be a little bit of frustration. Been rushing hard. Oh, that's helmet to helmet. That's why that's called. That's helmet to helmet. And it's just you're working so hard to get there, and then all of a sudden you get free, and quarterback throws the football. You just got to somehow, some way, pull off.
Remember, J.P. Lossman is the 3rd quarterback tonight, so if something happens to Kelly Holcomb, and the Bills have to take a timeout here, there's confusion in the backfield, which probably not the worst thing for Kelly right now. Shane Matthews, who has not played all season, would be the guy to come in to back up Holcomb. Bills timeout.
NBA on ESPN Live Thursday. The new dynamic duo, Manu, Oberto, and the champion Spurs are currently riding high in the West. They head to the Garden to face the Knicks. Spurs, Knicks, live Thursday. The NBA on ESPN. ESPN gets your motor running each and every Monday night with 2 hours of power we call the engine block. 2-wheel, open wheel, or off the beaten path. Brought to you the way only ESPN can. Plenty of full-throttle programs to keep every motorhead happy. The Engine Block, Monday nights only on ESPN.
Shane Matthews, who has thrown 3 passes in the last 3 years in NFL games.
Very efficient.
2 for 3. He is back with the jacket on. Holcomb okay after the hit from Trevor Price. After the Buffalo called timeout, 1st and 10 Bills in Denver territory. Little trick here as they get it in the hands of Josh Reed, thinking about throwing, slides on this slick turf and will lose a couple of yards. Again, from the numbers out, very, very slick.
Yes.
Back to the hit by Trevor Price on Kelly Holcomb. Helmet to helmet there.
That's helmet to, yes, that's helmet to helmet. And he knew it. He knew it right away.
His 9th year out of Clemson, 63 career sacks, loss of 3 on the reverse for the Bills, 2nd and 13. They've put themselves in reverse quite often tonight. Moles the catch. It'll be a yard shy of the 1st down as he's brought down by the former Michigan Wolverine, Ian Gold. Gain of 12 for Moles, who continues to be, along with Rod Smith, the dominant offensive players tonight.
I like the game plan, allowing Eric Moles to get the ball in his hands, yards after the catch. That's the guy he was coming out of college. Allow him to do what he feels comfortable and how he feels he can help this football team win football games, and that is getting the football in his hands as quick as possible and letting him do work after the catch. 305-pound defensive lineman Justin Bannon came in the game here for 3rd and short as Buffalo goes beefy. Fullback Shelton in motion. Here is McGahee. Good move on Champ Bailey. Made Champ think he was going outside. Patiently comes back to the inside. And it's a 1st down. Nice job, too, as the defensive lineman who came in, Sterling, was on the move. Did a good job getting out in front, leading that play. And that's a good call. Put themselves in a manageable situation. And then Willis McGahee does the rest. He has an opportunity to go outside. It's a corner. He doesn't try and run him over. He uses his athleticism, creates running lanes, creates opportunities, and gets himself a 1st down.
McGahee, who earlier this year called himself the best back in the league, since then has not been. 1st and 10, play action for Holcomb. Another catch for Eric Moles. They're running the guys deep and clearing out some space for Moles. Gain of 7 yards. Here's Susie down on the sideline.
Well, Mike, I talked to Mike Malarkey at halftime about what is most challenging considering his team is not in the playoffs, and he said it's still trying to improve on every single play. So the most I can ask for them is that they're playing hard, and that they are. But as you guys talked about a lot in the 1st half, it goes back to that same old thing. They take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. They've got to get over doing that.
It seems every time, Suze, they're a play away from sustaining a drive. 5-yard false start. 2 men in motion at the same time. Here's McGahee, able to be patient to get the 1st down, take it inside the red zone to the 18-yard line. Willis McGahee started strong this year. 4 100-yard games in his first 8. Then that comment of the best back in the league.
Yeah.
242 yards in the 5 games before tonight.
I guess that wouldn't be the best back status, but he did a great job there of using his athleticism once again to create an opportunity to gain more yards. He's an excellent yards after contact runner, too.
He comes out. Sean Williams comes in to replace him. The fullback, Damon Shelton, lines up to block. And Williams takes it inside the 15 into the 13-yard line. Sean Williams started his college career at Texas Tech, went to Alabama, 4,700 all-purpose yards, and filling a nice role in this Buffalo offense. As remember, Travis Henry and McGahee shared the load last year.
That's right.
And now Williams has become more of a 3rd down back, and here dinged McGahee has come to the sideline.
People can't, they have a lot of talent here, Mike. They have a lot of talent on offense. You just have to get the ball in the talented guys' hands.
Lee Evans, bottom of your screen, quiet tonight, 2 grabs, 5 yards. Williams, at the time, Al Wilson came charging in to stop that play before it could go any farther.
And a lot of people think that the Buffalo Bills at 4-9 didn't have any talent. They have a lot of talent here, ladies and gentlemen. They have guys that can make plays. The problem is when you, as Susie mentioned, take 2 steps forward and then have a penalty and you're in 2nd and 3rd and 25. There's not a lot of opportunities to get the ball in those talented guys' hands.
Josh Reed, Roscoe Parrish in the game, along with Evans and Molds. That's Parrish in motion, needing to get to the 8. Play clock down to 3 as Holcomb throws, nearly intercepted. That is the 2nd time tonight that Al Wilson, with that busted finger, has been fighting the ball and trying to squeeze it. Field goal attempt coming for the Bills.
And they do a great job of showing pressure and then having Al come out. He's the only guy in the middle, and he's free and does a good job of reading the quarterback's eyes and hands and getting his hands on the football.
Obviously didn't see him because he didn't move.
Yeah, he didn't move at all.
Right there. Well, the punter Mormon trying to keep his hands warm as he's the holder for Ryan Lindell, who will kick from 31 yards. See, it's very icy right around the place where he's going to have to plant here. Able to do it and connect on the field goal. Only Neil Rackers of Arizona, Matt Stover of Baltimore have a higher percentage of their team's points. Those teams haven't been good this year. Neither have the Bills.
When a boxer prepares, he's only thinking of success. He's only thinking of destruction. But to conquer, he must obliterate the hopes of his opponent and be the only man standing. Fight Night, only on ESPN.
Denver on top. Bills answer with a field goal. They want Jake to bring back the stash. He's got that beard going, which is interesting in its own right. Of course, as many of you know, the beard that Jake Plummer has grown in many ways stands as tribute for his fallen former teammate, Pat Tillman, who died in Afghanistan 19 months ago. Something that very much affected and touched Jake Plummer. The look is a little bit different from the Snake days in Arizona, but really the performance has been pretty good. A little pooch kick here by the Bills is hauled in and very smartly taken out of bounds by John Engelberger, former defensive lineman, Virginia Tech, San Francisco 49ers. Makes a very heady play there, so the Broncos will take over at their own 30. Plummer back on the field. Last pass he threw, a touchdown to an old basketball player. Offensive play, Wesley Duke scored the touchdown. Man who will tell his story again in a second. Has only been active for a couple of games and seen action on a kickoff against the Jets. So he has barely seen the field before that touchdown earlier. Plummer rolling and throwing, caught at the 45-yard line. Again, it's Rod Smith for the 10th time tonight. 10 of the 15 receptions. Let me take you back to that play with Wesley Duke at 6'5", using the leaping ability of the basketball star and having Josh Stammer out in coverage, a linebacker.
Not great patience, Mike. And I guess it's a basketball thing to dunk it, but he didn't have the hops to finish the play, as you put it.
Uh-oh, we'll get a whistle here. Don't know if this play is being challenged by the Buffalo side. They're coming over to speak with Mike Mularkey again. Perhaps was the receiver out of bounds before he came back in.
Challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
All right, so the Bills will use a challenge for the first time tonight, and let's take a look at it.
All right, let's see. Okay, no, that is not a completed catch. Mike, that's it. I'm standing on it's not a completed catch.
I think you're 0 for.
I'm 0 for like 0 for. I'm just 0 for. But I'm getting ready to get one back right here.
You're going to be 1 for in about a minute.
Yeah, there you go. Be 2nd down and 10 from back there. Wherever back there is. Yeah, hey, look, even the fans are agreeing with me, Mike, so I must be doing something right. Although they can't hear me.
So we'll take away the Smith catch, and Bernie Kukar will come over for a look. I mean, you know when you're a receiver.
No.
That you didn't.
No. Because playing the position of receiver, Mike, you work so hard at being an actor and getting yourself open until you actually lie to yourself 90% of the time on plays like that, because you come up with what looks like the great catch. Or, I mean, the guy's caught 9. Why wouldn't he catch one more? I mean, he's caught 9 already. So it's one of those things, I think, for Rod, when his foot slips out from under him trying to drive back for that football, it hits the ground.
You know, I think receiver brains should be sent to the Smithsonian to be examined, because you're all wired differently.
Chris Berman says I'm a laboratory rat, so it has to be a laboratory experiment, so it definitely has to be all the receivers.
Kukar calling back the umpire. They'll talk about respotting the ball. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, how come the Broncos have already moved back to the original line of scrimmage? Yeah, do they know something?
That's a great point. That's a great sign. When the team that thinks it had the completion has already moved back to the original line of scrimmage at the 31. Hey, one thing about these Mike Shanahan coach teams, they're very smart.
They're extremely smart. And you know who it was? It was the offensive lineman. They were like, hey, guys, he didn't catch that. Move on back here.
I mean, the guys who don't talk to anyone?
Yeah, who don't talk to the media, yeah.
You know that story. Rick Riley wrote a piece in Sports Illustrated the last week or so. Go back to the Gary Zimmerman days. Let's see, I don't think there's anything here that would lead you to believe that it's anything but a reversal. But anyway, going back to the Gary Zimmerman days when the silent treatment was given and offensive linemen are fined for their comments to the media. And when they do have to send somebody to talk, they send the young guy, George Foster, out to talk for the group because he gives the worst quotes. That's beautiful.
And he gets fined for talking.
After reviewing the play, the ball hit the ground and was moving. It's an incompleted pass. There will be 2nd down and 10 at the 30-yard line at the Denver hash mark. Put 5:03 on the scoreboard clock, and there's no charge timeout for Buffalo.
Yeah, they had to go back and determine, thank you, Bernie, they had to go back and determine the time on the clock, because after the completion, it continued to run.
Right.
So Mike Mularkey wins a challenge. That is the 3rd time in 8 challenges this year that a Buffalo challenge has been successful.
That's not real good. Or they don't challenge enough.
3 of 8's okay. That's okay. Mike Shanahan
he just challenges a lot.
More than anyone. 9 of 14 or 8 of 14 on the year, after challenging the touchdown on the first drive of the game by the Bills. After the incompletion, 2nd and 10. From their own 30. Plummer throws complete to Patsier. So the tight ends are very involved, and the penalty marker comes in.
It's got to be face mask. Got to be a little bit of the face mask.
Angelo Crowell, the outside linebacker, who has replaced Takeo Spikes in the Buffalo lineup since Spikes tore his Achilles week 3 against Atlanta.
And Angelo has played very well, played extremely well. Doesn't have the continuity that Spikes and London Fletcher had with Jeff Posey, but he has played very well since
illegal contact on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down.
Wow.
Not a face mask with the 5.
So I tell you what,
you're
Mike,
still
Mike, I'm just going to stick to the action. I'm not guessing anymore. I can't see.
If Sterling's on your Christmas list, no striped shirts for him.
Glasses, please.
Crowell's done a nice job for Spikes, but what they've missed with Takeo Spikes this year has been a lot of the emotion and his veteran play, and it's put more on the shoulders of London Fletcher, the middle linebacker. On the run, Bell. Caden Bell down the sideline, couldn't keep his balance, but out of bounds at the 43-yard line. It's a 1st down Kyle Johnson, the fullback out of Syracuse, helped pave the path. Gain of 22.
Once again, you bring your big hitter in, give him a short crack, gets in there, breaks an arm tackle, and now it's outside down the sidelines. There's that change of pace. There's that change of field position. There's that explosion type play that the Denver Bronco offense has grown to expect all season long.
There you see what the two running backs have done tonight. Just 15 rushes by the Broncos of their 45 plays, but Bell at nearly 6 yards per carry is in some rare air with his yards per.
Very rare air.
Runs it inside to gain just a couple of Chris Kelsey there on the tackle. You have to go back to Barry Sanders.
Wow.
In 97 when the Detroit Lions actually put a competitive team out there.
They were actually good.
When Barry averaged 6.1 yards per carry, the last time that you saw a running back average that kind of number within a season. And Tatum Bell is at 5.9 per carry coming in here tonight.
And Barry was a starter and got a chance to set up defenses as well. This guy's only getting 12 to 15 carries a game, and that's a pretty impressive average.
2nd and 9 for Jake Plummer. The throw this time is caught by Rod Smith, who put the ball out to maximize the distance on the reception. That will now be his 10th on the evening.
Watch his hips drop. Look at that. Shoulders over his knees. No slipping going on. You said that was a slick part of the field. Rod Smith knows that. Outstanding. I keep telling people I'm an old school receiver, so I'm all about technique. I'm a tactician, and nobody does it better than Rod Smith. Shoulders over his knees, drops his hips very well. I mean, for young guys coming into this league, a lost art is the art of running a route.
10 of the 15 completions for Denver tonight for Smith. Deep drop this time by Plummer. Everything covered, and he comes back to who else? Rod Smith. Gain of a Sterling. He just gets open all the time.
When your technique is sound, Mike. When your technique is sound, you have an opportunity to win in all kind of field positions against all kind of competition. Watch this. Watch this. Bam. Everything stops and drops. Comes back to his quarterback. Presents himself. And he gets the football. We got ourselves another catch.
And what a role he's playing. Very much of a mentor, especially at this crucial time of the season. Denver trying to win tonight and get to the playoffs. 2nd and 1. Here is Bell. Enough for the first down to the 22-yard line. Susie?
Well, at this point in the season, you just can't underestimate the value of that veteran leadership. You guys are talking about Rod Smith. He's constantly coaching and mentoring. He says to the guys, I know at this point in the year you're tired. Just give me 2 more months. Let's be dedicated to each other. And he said, this is when Shannon Sharpe always did the most talking. He'd say, everything I've got is for you.
Emphasis on most. Shannon did talk the rest of the season.
Yes, he did. He did a good job of that, too.
But the communication from these veterans to the guys who haven't been through of what a run in the playoffs takes. Anderson has been through it. Mike continuing to move his legs as the Bills find themselves back in the red zone defensively, down at their own 14-yard line. Talk about Smith and his career undrafted free agent out of Missouri Southern State, Division II program. He's turned in a couple of Pro Bowl seasons, the all-time leader in receptions, yards, and touchdowns for the Broncos, and doing it again here tonight with 11 receptions.
I like what he said to Jake Plummer and understanding what his role was on this team. He told Jake Plummer, you can be good by yourself, but you can be great if you let us help you. And it's so interesting to listen to Rod come in and talk to us about the importance of the running game to the passing game. This is a balanced football team, although you're not seeing it tonight. This is a very balanced football team that once they get into playoffs will be scary.
Wesley Duke, the tight end, back in the game. 2nd and short. Anderson attacks the hole, has the first down, the 11-yard line. This is just the 3rd offensive possession of this 3rd quarter. Denver took the opening kickoff for the half, moved it downfield for the touchdown. Mike Shanahan's team going up 14-7. Buffalo responded with a field goal, and after the short kickoff, Denver has taken this drive from the 30 and advanced it some 59 yards.
Run pass, they're starting to mix in a little more runs now. They're starting to settle in to their true identity. They're starting to heat Mike Anderson up, start getting him to run downhill a little bit. This is where the offensive line should take over.
Cecil Sapp in the game as the lead blocker. Anderson to the right side, bounces it to the outside, and takes it into the end zone. Did he have possession? It's a touchdown. Anderson was fumbling the ball as he was going across the goal line. This will be an interesting look at the replay, but if it stands up, the Broncos have scored again.
Offensive line taking over. Mike Anderson showing patience. Great block by the outside receiver, Ashley Lilly. And, yeah, that's a touchdown.
It'll be good, yep. So Anderson will be credited for his 10th touchdown on the season, and Denver has scored on 3 consecutive possessions.
Running out the clock. When you can't stop the run, you do not have an opportunity to rush the passer, and the Denver Broncos are starting to heat up the running game.
Jason Elam, who has 2 points tonight, adds a third. He's over 100 on the season. First time in the history of the National Football League that a player has had over 100 points 13 consecutive seasons. Elam gets there after the touchdown run by Anderson.
Outstanding patience, Mike. Gathers himself, and now just a little burst, a good stiff arm. Got himself up for the touchdown. I mean, just nice patience. Ashley Lilly with an outstanding block at the point, a wide receiver at the point of attack, and Mike Anderson is as good a finisher in this league as there is.
He is so lucky.
Yes.
Because that was about a half yard away from being a touchback. Because
yes, it was.
As he was extending the ball across the plane, it hits the arm of McGee, the defensive back, and then comes out, and a fumble out of the end zone there would have been a touchback.
Those numbers are scary. 21 rushes, 89 yards the last 3 games, 57 yards tonight. Those numbers are scary, and it's not just him, though, Mike. It's the opportunities that he needs. Unlike Tatum Bell, Mike Anderson needs carries to get himself going, to set people up and be able to read blocks. He needs to be featured a little bit more for this running game to get back on track.
Remember the numbers at halftime, Sterling, where the pass-run ratio was 11 runs and I think about 22 passes. Well, in this quarter, Denver has been almost balanced in their play selection, and this is exactly why Jake Plummer is getting the talk of having one of the best season of his career.
MVP?
No.
MVP. There's some people out there thinking he might be it.
Do you think?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I've heard the conversation.
But there are people.
I don't think so. He's had a terrific season. It's not being disrespectful, but these 13-0 guys over in Indy, it's going to be hard not to give them awards. McGee brought down to the 31, and a marker comes down as part of the return. Keith Burns, the special team captain who was out for a week for Denver, back in the lineup, makes the play.
Of the return team during the run back. 10-yard penalty, first down.
The 11th penalty on the 4-9 Bills this year, and you have the sense right about here.
There you go.
That the Bills could be in trouble.
The psyche is starting to accept cracks now if the Bills want to. They're primed and ready for their psyche to take a hit. The Denver Broncos just drove the football down the field on them. Great balance, run-pass mix, got themselves a touchdown. Up 11 right now with 12 seconds to go. Let's see how the Buffalo Bills offense responds.
McGahee is the tailback. Holcomb, 5 options to throw. Moles in the middle, dropped the ball. Wow. Moles just trying to settle in there at the 40. Would have had a big gain. Well, second down and probably one more play here in the third quarter.
Got himself open, got himself in the hole. Kelly Holcomb did a great job setting the launch point for his tackle, stepping up in the pocket, giving his receiver an opportunity to come up with a catch, and those things happen. Though, you know, it's a drop, and you're never going to get that pass back.
You're all wired differently.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
2nd and 10. Bills go to their 3 receivers. Come down to McGahee. Champ Bailey had the coverage on the back end. Michael Myers off the defensive line. Fans a little frustrated as it gets colder and later, and the fourth quarter is around the corner. Denver scores 2 touchdowns and leads by 11.
Where he makes his mistake is that he doesn't protect the ball.
It's pure fundamentals. Watch right here. He got sloppy. Here, right here. That's where he loses it. Let's look at that again.
Hey, honey, did you?
Always switch it to the other hand, away from where the pursuit is coming.
What exactly are you doing?
That's a mental breakdown. He got a little reckless there, and I'm sure he's going to catch an earful on the sidelines.
Off we go to the fourth quarter here in Orchard Park on our Saturday night ESPN NFL special with Susie Culver and Sterling Sharp. Mike Tirico. Denver 21, Buffalo 10. A Bronco win here tonight. They will clinch a playoff berth in the AFC and could clinch the West if San Diego loses to Indianapolis tomorrow.
That could happen.
In Indiana.
That could happen.
So far, it's been a pretty good run. 13 in a row for the Colts. Going for 14-0, and poor Tony Dungy. He has a wonderful job, but a lot of people are trying to play Tony Dungy because everybody gets asked, what would you do? What would you do?
I think you have to play this one to win, and then you start to look to see how you can balance.
Seems to be the consensus from a lot of people inside football as we ask them over the last couple of weeks. 3rd and 12 to start this fourth quarter. Buffalo scored a field goal on its only other second half possession. Kelly Holcomb throws to Shad Williams. Can he get there? No. Al Wilton doesn't miss many opportunities to tackle. And the 3-time Pro Bowler helps take the Bills offense off the field. So Brian Moorman will come on to punt. The Bills wrap up their season at Cincinnati against the Bengals and at the Jets. They have not won a road game this year. Moorman boots it away. Charlie Adams slides down. Ball came out at the 30, and I think Denver was able to come back and get it. It's the man who's the special teams captain we just talked about, Keith Burns, with a huge recovery for the Broncos. Down to Susie.
Well, Mike, here's what happened today in that playoff picture. 2 of the league's top 4 rushers going at it. Kansas City against the Giants. Larry Johnson gets things going with the 1-yard TD run, and the Chiefs are within 3, but it was the Tiki Barber show. He capped a 220-yard day with a 20-yard touchdown. The Giants win 27-17, so the Giants take a stronghold on that NFC East. And with the KC loss, well, now Denver in a much better position to clinch.
That's right, Susie. As we mentioned, San Diego, if they lose at Indianapolis and the Broncos can hold this 11-point edge, the Broncos will be the West champs. Tatum Bell on the pitch. He will lose a yard on the play. Aaron Schobel has been quiet tonight off the end to make the tackle. So here is that AFC West story. You see KC with a loss at 8-6. Once Denver gets to 11-3, they will be uncatchable for the Chiefs, and same would be true with the Chargers. Remember, Denver closes the season at San Diego on New Year's Eve. The Broncos and the Giants playing their final 3 regular season games on Saturdays. We'll see the Giants and Raiders on New Year's Eve night in Oakland. Bell crossed the 30 into the 33-yard line.
I can't wait to see you on New Year's Eve.
In Oakland. Well, I can't wait to see Oakland on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. The Broncos will see the Raiders to wrap up the season at Invesco Field at Mile High, where Denver's got a great run going. It's so important in the playoffs. That home field advantage in Denver for the Broncos to get the home playoff game. End the week off because the number 2 seed would be huge, and they can control their fate regarding that no matter what Cincinnati does. If the Broncos win out, they're the 2 seed behind Indianapolis. Here it's 3rd and 6. Plummer hit as he throws. Can Bell make a play? Absolutely. First down across the 40 to the 43. Angelo Crowell had a shot. Tatum Bell made a better play.
And that's when we talk about decision-making by Jake Plummer, because he makes the decision that he's going to hold on to this football as long as he can, get it out to his check down, and Tatum Bell does the rest. Let everyone do their job, and you create a successful offense. The Denver Broncos in the second half of this football game have done just that. Tatum Bell playing now in the second half and doing a very fine job of getting out in the route, presenting himself, making the catch, and getting the first down.
keeping another drive alive. The Broncos have been a much more balanced, much more effective offense here in the second half. That time Bell is stopped for the loss of a couple of yards. Mike Anderson's ready to come in. Or go back to the start of the game when Buffalo was getting this Denver offense off the field. It was just a lot of passing. And then we had the Rod Smith turnover trying to get an extra yard. Since then, it's what we haven't seen from the Broncos really since the first half in Kansas City a couple of weeks ago.
That's true. And what you see, Mike, is in order to get a team off the field on third down, you got to have them in third and long yardage. The Denver Broncos have managed to stay in short yardage situations to where they could possibly run the football or throw a check down like they did just a second ago to a running back like Taysom Bell.
Second and 12. Pressure on from Fletcher, but the pass is caught by Putsier, who lost the football on the way down. Now let's see if the Bills come up with it.
They had to have come up with it. There's no way that Jeff got this ball back.
Terrence McGee knocked it free. Said White pointed the wrong way. White would mean Denver ball. And somehow the Broncos come out of there with possession and a first down.
And a lot of people would think, you know what, at 4-9, that's why those things happen. I mean, breaks just don't go your way.
Putsier's taken enough big hits.